What's going on, traders? It's Ricky with TechBet Solutions. So just another recap on today's amazing trades. So I do want to give a huge shout out to all the members that participated in today's trade. Today we completely killed it with the huge spike that we saw in gold. I shouted out 3 different stocks today, all together with the 3 stocks that I shouted out. It's NUGT, JNUG, and MJNA. Although I did do technical analysis last night and I posted those stocks. I did do pre-market movers and I posted those stocks. You guys always ask me, what is it that I'm looking at, because I filter out and I focus on solely 3 stocks throughout the day, and those are the ones that I'm going to be trading. And although I didn't trade MJNA, I did end up trading PIP twice, and then I traded NUGT and JNUG. I did end up selling my $7,000 investment when it came to NUGT. If you guys saw a couple days ago, I invested, I kind of went long. Being said, although gold doesn't back up our dollar anymore, it does have a direct correlation on how it kind of fluctuates according to the stock market. So although that's saying kind of a bad sign for the US economy, then gold ends up spiking up when our economy ends up going down. So being able to identify those trends are very useful. In a sense, we were just day trading it in hope of finding a good support. And essentially what I did was I bought in at 760, and then as it came back up, I ended up selling at 780. And with that single bounce, I was able to lock in on that trade alone $80 worth of profit. And then with JNUG, almost identical stocks. Like what I mean is that they're not the same type of company, but they're both gold-based companies. And when one goes up, the other one follows. When one goes down, the other one follows as well. So what we did with this is I saw during pre-market hours that there was a support right around 580 and a resistance right around $6. So identifying that support and resistance, again, I was very patient. It did end up going lower than 580. And again, if I was very picky and wanted to get in at the lowest point, I could have gotten in at 575 or 570, but again, I didn't see that upward momentum. So as it bounced at that 570, 575, it started picking back up. I ended up buying at 580, and then realistically seeing where the resistance was at, I ended up selling at $6. With that trade alone, I brought in $104 worth of profit. And then on my last trade with PIP, I traded this one twice. This one had a huge, spike during aftermarket hours and pre-market hours this morning. Hit highs of about 120, came back down. It's kind of like FNCX. This, had a huge surge during pre-market, and as soon as the market opens, it actually takes a huge dump. And again, something that I've been trying to focus on, and what today's helpful video that's going to be up at 5:30 Mountain Standard Time that's going to focus on, it's going to be that although the stock might be in the red, it does not, minimize the potential that this stock has. Again, we're day traders. So what I was trying to identify was that bounce. I thought the bounce was initially going to be at this old resistance and old support. And I bought in at 92 cents. When I saw upward momentum, it bounced at 90, came up, bought in at 92, hit highs of 93, 94, and then I stop lossed out at 0.909. And with doing that, I cut my losses. I lost about $36. It continued to drop, and again, I was very patient. I got my alert on when it went below 85 cents, and when it did go below 85 cents, it hit lows of 81 cents. Again, I didn't go for the lowest point. I wanted to see that upward momentum. So again, I set up a whole game plan. Where's the resistance? I knew the resistance was going to be at the old support, so that's 90 cents. Where's the support? It's going to be around 81 cents because that's where the balance is. Where am I going to cut my losses? Well, I'll cut my losses, right below the support, so at 80 cents. 0.9, right? Therefore, I bought in at 83 and it started to rise. A couple of traders followed. Ended up hitting highs of 90. I was on my trip from California to Arizona, so I wasn't able to execute on that trade. My alert didn't go off because I lost connection. So I pulled over to the gas station, and then that's when I actually sold at 0.89. And with that trade alone, with PIP, I was able to bring in $217 worth of profit. And with that trade, again, it's, I took a loss, $36. Who cares, right? I didn't get in at the good point. The upward momentum wasn't as strong as I thought it was. It's about, okay, now it broke below that support. Now where's the next bounce going to be? If the volume is good, then it's going to have a solid play out for the rest of the day. So what that is, I tried to identify the support. There's a couple traders that were saying, okay, 80, 81 cents, that's where the support's going to be. I waited for the bounce and I saw that EMA line indicate that it was showing signs of upward momentum. So what I simply did was I waited for it to pop above 83, and once it did, I bought in at 83 and then ended up selling at 0.89. Although it has hit highs of 93 cents, again, not too worried. I had a plan, I stuck to it. Now with my long that I went on NUGT, ended up buying a total of $7,000 worth of NUGT, and my buy point wasn't the best. My buy point for NUGT was at $8.23. I initially bought, if you guys saw in my video where I posted it that I was doing it live, I bought in and I did well, and then my second buy in for NUGT, I bought in with $3,000 at around 8.30, and then it continued to drop, and then it got down to 8.15, and it continued to drop, and as I continued to progressively add more, I just saw that NUGT continued to drop. Although, yes, it continued to drop in the long run, I knew NUGT, being the type of company that I understood it to be, I was willing to take that risk. And again, it's how familiar you are with the different stocks that you trade. As soon as that news from the gold came out, there was this huge surge of, pushing it well above, this resistance that it previously had, and I ended up selling at $8.80, locking in a total profit with a $7,000 of $484. So with my total trades today amounting to $849 with a profit within a couple day trades and then one long trade. And what I mean by long is it's about 3 days that I held that stock. Hit highs of $9.31 and is still continuing to rise. So again, it's not about trying to predict the next biggest thing, but it's identifying that potential, setting up a plan, and setting yourself up for success. Although, yes, these stocks had huge gaps on what they filled today, realistically, it's relatively impossible to identify these huge surges, right? But it's not impossible to set up a plan to minimize loss and promote growth. And with that surge, we're able to lock in huge amounts of profits. I do want to give a shout out to multiple members within our group that are able to lock in thousands of dollars worth of profit. No matter how small your account is, people were seeing over 10, 20, 30%, even 50% return in their trades today. Ron made a little bit over $2,262 today, and the profit just continues coming. There's a bunch of profits that were being shared within our group chat. So I want to give a huge shout out to all those members that participated today. And that's pretty much the recap today. So I locked in a total of $849 worth of profit, and I did that on my commute from California to Arizona, so I think that's a beautiful thing, So if you guys would like to be a part of TechBut Solutions, the link is provided for you down below. And then once you join and get accepted into the TechBut Solutions platform, there is these series of group chats that you can select. Depending on what type of trader you are and depending on what type of group chat you want to join, feel free to click on the link and join. Thank you guys again so much for watching. If you guys can like and subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate it. And I hope you guys have an amazing week, and let's make sure that we end the week on a green note. Take care, guys. Baby, don't you let it go to waste.